Hello there. How are you all doing tonight? Can I tell you a story? A story about the Decatur house, where we stand right now. This house is one of the oldest houses that remain in all of Washington, D.C. It was built in 1818 for the war hero Stephen Decatur and his lovely, lovely wife. Now, they didn't live here long. Not long at all, and let me tell you why. But first, step back, please. You must know if you come any closer, you might get very ill. Now, this building serves as an African history museum today, but the tourists that go inside, they often have abdominal pain, awful abdominal pain. Sometimes they vomit, sometimes they have to call the doctor, and when they do, the doctor has no idea. But I do. I have a clue. I think it has to do with Stephen Decatur and someone known as Baron. An event that happened well over 20 years prior. You see, Baron was the captain of this ship, and he surrendered way too easily to the British. And his men, they were tortured. It was horrible. And he was tried for being a coward. And you know who was on that jury? I'll give you one guess. Stephen Decatur. And you know, he never forgave him for being on that jury. He thought he was the one juror who had the most influence. And after 20 years, he couldn't handle it any longer. No longer. So he found Stephen Decatur, and he challenged him to a duel. Well, no gentleman can say no to a duel. It's unheard of. So of course Mr. Decatur agreed. Well, as a result, he was shot. They rushed him to his house, and the doctors came to treat him. And they went through every single scrap of sheet in the house and could not stop the bleeding, And eventually, after 2 days in pain, Decatur sat up. He shouted out. I did not know that any man could suffer such pain. And it was too much for Decatur to bear, too much. And he finally passed away. But that's a relief from the pain he was in. Immediately people began to see his spirit in the window right above you. Yes. So many people saw his spirit that eventually they boarded it up. And his wife, his poor wife, she never recovered. They sedated her, and she wept every day for the rest of her life. And that, my friends, is the story of the Decatur